Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to BBS. I'm gonna start off this video with just some quick explainings and some quick action in the, if you look to the left here, the test arena or whatever it's called. So I'm just gonna be going over some notes, just gonna show the basics of Mr. P. Then I've got two games. Anyways, overall, Mr. P, he either struggles or shines depending on what type of brawlers the enemy team has. Do they have brawlers like Sandy, Poco, Dynamite? Then he will struggle because their shots pierce through your super. So that means you can't hide behind it. And in situations where Mr. P shines is, let's say the other team has a Leon, a Bull, and a Colt. That means you have an insane amount of HP because you can just hide behind your penguins and your the spawner itself. He also relies on a good team because he's a really bad defender, especially if you're not power 10, if you're not maxed out. He does such a small amount of damage. If people run at you, there's a big chance you're not gonna get the double damage. Then you're just dealing 980 damage, and that's the same amount of damage as Poco. So you don't want to be on the back foot. So I wouldn't really recommend you playing Mr. P unless you're good enough to easily get him to like 700 or 800 trophies, and then you can keep playing him because then it'll be easier for you. Another note is just don't be afraid to use your super. It recharges quickly, so it's pretty spammable. And I don't know if I said this, but adapt your super placement depending on the enemy team. So again, if the enemy team is like Colt, Bull, and Leon, you want to be using your super as a meat shield, basically. You just, let's say an invisible Leon is on his way towards you. You can just stand still, and as soon as he pops out of his invisibility, you just pop your super, and that Leon will auto aim and hit your penguin or the super, and you'll just kill him easily. And on the other hand, if you're facing people like Sandy, Poco, etc., you might want to change up your supers, put them in annoying places where they have to waste time or ammo and stuff like that. I'll get into this more later as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into some test arena. Just first off here, explaining the star power. The first one, it will bounce even if you don't hit an enemy or a wall. So moving on to the second one, revolving door. So the roboporters respawn 3 seconds faster after being defeated. This just pretty much means they're just up pretty much 100% of the time. And the gadgets, yeah, Mr. P buffs his current porter by increasing his damage by 150 and health by 1000. What they aren't saying here in the description, which is the most important part, is that if your penguin is damaged, doesn't matter if it's damaged 1 health or all the way down to 1 health. What happens when you press the gadget is it doesn't only increase its health by its max health by 1000, it also fully heals the penguin. So to be as efficient as possible, you want to make sure that you allow the enemy to damage your penguin but not fully kill it. And just before it's about to die, you press your gadget. Super annoying. And that way you get, if you're using it as a meat shield, you gain even more effective HP that way. Here, I'm just gonna show the first star power what it looks like. I'm not hitting an enemy, I'm not hitting a wall, but it will bounce either way. And this is how you want to be using your super. That robot there, it can't pierce through my penguins or the super itself, so I'm just gonna hide behind it. And this is what it looks like without the first star power, or if you have no star power whatsoever. So it won't bounce if it hits nothing, but of course it will bounce if it hits an enemy or a wall. And this is how you want to use your gadget. I'm going to be using it as at the last second, as I mentioned. And if you see the text here below, theoretically about 13,600 HP or even infinite amount of HP. What I mean by this, if you take the brawler health, which is you can see there 4.5k, and the super health, which is about 4k, and the penguin, which is about another 5k, because the base penguin has about 2k, and if you press it your guy at the last second, it will gain another about 3k health. So what I mean by this is you have an insane amount of effective HP, and if you have your second star power, you will have penguins spawning over and over again, so you can hide behind them pretty much forever. The first game I got for you is versus Gale, Shelly, and Mortis. I was searching for a game like this. I can block Gale's shots, I can block Shelly's shots, and Mortis is a special case because he can pierce through. You know, he can damage both the penguins and me. But uh, this guy in this game, he doesn't have his star power. But if you're higher up, all Mortises are gonna have star power. And what this means is they're gonna have coiled snake, which is the longer dash, and that takes like 3 seconds to charge. So if they ever want to kill your penguin, they're gonna have to waste their coiled snake, and that means they're pretty much useless. So Mortis is an exception to the, piercing shots or not non-piercing shots rule there. So let's jump straight into the gameplay. So here's the first example. I'm just running straight into Shelly. I'm not scared of her whatsoever. Just gonna put down my super, hide behind it, and she's got no chance.
2,000 years later.
I want to rewind there quickly. This is not Mr. P specific, but just Brawl Ball in general. Mortis is gonna see me holding the ball here, and he's gonna run towards me. And as always, you just want to get rid of the ball. You don't want to be holding it because you can't fire. And what Mortis' mistake is here is he's tunnel visioning on the ball. He's immediately from going aggressive, just turning to the ball and going passive and giving my team an advantage. They're giving us the upper hand. They're allowing us to push forward. What he could have done is just either go for a kill on me, or he could have just taken the ball and shot it back to our side. Just a quick explanation there. If you paid attention, it was just 1-0 there in the previous game, but nothing else happened for the remainder of the game. So I just decided to cut through it and skip to the next game. So I was searching for, the opposite of a last game. So here we are against Mortis, Dynamite, and Poco. So I'm not going to be using my super here as a meat shield. I'm going to place it just in annoying places, so they have to waste ammo, they have to waste time, and just, be like Crow, be annoying. So that's my game plan here. So just an explanation why I throw it in the base there. Um, Dynamite, if he wants to go for me, he's leaving my super alone. He's gonna have a penguin in his back in a second. Um, what you'll see here in a moment is Dynamite is eyeing this super of mine, and this is gonna force him to either, waste his ammo on the super, try to kill me, but then my penguins will come chase him. So my awkward super positioning here is actually going to force this, not force, but what it did was put him on this path, which is not a path he wants to take. And the last thing I want to mention here is we have Poco respawning, and you can't see it now, but just give me a second here. There. You see 3k, 3,920 health. And if you divide that by 980, which is Poco's damage, if he's power 10, that's gonna be 4 shots. So what this means is Poco is either going to just leave spawn and just ignore my super, or he's going to have to remain in base here and waste 4 ammo on basically nothing. And when he's done that, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have another super. So as we can see here, um, 420 health on Dynamite, no pun intended. He can't, walk up and walk back and defend rather, because he chose to ignore my penguin earlier. So he suffers the consequences. Just then, if you saw, just then, 1 second ago, they destroyed my super. So it lasted inside of their base for, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. That's pretty amazing. So again, here I'm thinking about placing my super in the same position. Why? The same thing. Dynamite can either get bit in the butt by those penguins. Mortis, with his incredibly slow recharge time, can either decide to kill my penguins and be useless, or he can choose to ignore my super and just be annoyed, basically. Another thing here. As you saw, Dynamite and Mortis, they try to score a goal, and Poco just respawned behind them. And as you saw, I had time to walk to my side of the of the map. I defended, I ran back. I'm now in an aggressive position again. And as you can see, Poco hasn't left spawn. And why hasn't he? Because he decided to stay and use 4 ammunition on the super. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. And next video is going to be Poco on Gem Grab to mix it up a bit. So let me know what you want to see next. Mr. P was requested by a viewer. Poco was as well. Um, After Poco, I think I'm going to be doing BB, El Primo, and Rosa. So, because those were viewer requested, let me know what you want to see, what game modes you want to see those brawlers on. So it's not only Brawl Ball. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. See ya.